hero comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday, except it's Wednesday, so happy Wednesday. Good to have you. Good to be here. Good to be seen. I've already been out and about today, so I had to set this up real quick. Oh, my brand new car wouldn't start this morning. Yeah, I'm very happy about that. Not very happy about that. Man, I just got the car. I still have the temp plates. This is the second time something has gone wrong with it already. So we don't always have to be nice about everything, just so you know. And when I call them, I ain't gonna be very nice. Good morning, Claire. It's good to see you. Just got back from the Community Reach Center, did the tour. Yeah, I'll be putting pictures in the grassroots meeting here shortly. They're offering us a couple of rooms. The only restrictions, actually, I would have to say, is we can only have meetings between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. Monday through pretty much Thursday. Friday, they kind of wrap up at 4 o'clock because, it's Friday and I want to get home for the weekend. So, I talked to them about pay and they said no. I'm like, well, you guys kind of know how AA works. I said, we have to be self-supporting through our own contributions. And he said, well, if you give us the money, we're just going to put it back into investing in you. So you guys might as well just figure out how you want to spend the money. See, it's God working in our lives. Because I have the same objective as I did the Club Trudge. And the objective is this, that there is an AA meeting, an Al-Anon meeting, and an Alateen meeting going on at the same time. I'll just take this out because clearly I need a new book. Can't afford it. My son was nice enough to let me borrow his car. But yeah, so we're going to be able to start holding meetings. The only one that would really probably fit is I would like to do a 10 o'clock meeting, which is probably not a bad idea. It's a matter of getting up and getting there because I'm the one that kind of has to do that. But that would certainly be pliable. Absolutely it would. Yeah, but I'll take it to the group. I didn't realize that button was unbuttoned. I look like I'm in. Darn it. It's going to get louder. I'm sorry. It's louder now. Sorry. I keep forgetting. When you have a cheap ass microphone, it just hears from everywhere. This one has a couple of different settings on it, but it makes me feel real good when I can go and get this stuff done and get things going. Part of the reason why I'm doing it this way, number one, nobody really seems to want to go to churches to go to meetings anymore, especially the younger people. And we got to update AA Mondays and Fridays. Oh, okay, Claire. I mean, if you're looking at coming in person, if I know that there's people that I know that are going to show up in person, because they will be hybrid meetings. Maybe we could start out with just an in-person meeting. We can also start with that. See, there's no restriction. But they're going to let us use their Wi-Fi. They have a television we can use. And I already have the rest of the equipment in order to make it a hybrid meeting. So, what we'll probably do is I'll probably have the group pay me to purchase those so that they belong to the group. So that way, let's say I can't show up, and I'm just using this as an example. Let's say I can't show up, but Clara Joyce can. It can still get set up. The other thing is security. There's going to need to be a greeter. So all we need to do is just add on another. We're going to add on another. Let's make that like bright yellow. There we go. Instead of a dull yellow. But yeah, good discussion. And I'll put it in the grassroots. I'll put it in grassroots. Let's go ahead and kind of get started. I'm a little lazy today. I just didn't have time to put anything together. So we're going to use the today's daily reflection. It's not really on the third step, so yay. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. People are getting to know me. It's neat. People are starting to reach out to me. I got a thing on I'm very leery when people send me stuff on Facebook. But they said, and usually it's just, girls trying to hit on me and that aren't really girls or whatever. But so I said, you're welcome to join one of my pages because they wanted to be friends, but I don't really know this person. She said, yes, a child of it, long story, but thank you. You can send me links to your pages. I found this through a mutual friend. So thank you. Thank you. I already have the coffee stuff. I have the coffee stuff. And they might have coffee stuff there for us too. So, but see, it gets kind of exciting because now we got to pull some things together. I got literature, I got big books, I got most everything that we already need. So if you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. I'm trying to bring back an AA that we used to have. And it's tough to do. These poor clubs, man, they're trying to make it, but rent's so freaking high anymore that you're lucky if you get a space big enough for us to meet, let alone to have Al-Anon and Alateen meeting too. This is a family disease, man. They're 27 years old today. Good for them, man. Just kidding. Morning, Amber. It's good to see you. All right, so let's get to the big book. It wants us to be on to page 86, but you know me. We're going to go back a little bit, or maybe we'll go forward. And we'll go forward. Let's see here as we go through pause and agitate, or maybe we'll do the whole darn thing. Who knows? 27 years. That is a long time. That's a long time to stay sober. So, all right. This thought brings us to step 10, which suggests we continue to take personal inventory and continue to set right any new mistakes as we go along. We vigorously commenced this way of living as we cleared up the past. We have entered the world of the spirit. Our next function is to grow in understanding and effectiveness. Okay? This is not an overnight matter. It should continue for a lifetime. Right? We got to continue staying open-minded. I'll give an example of that. Anschutz is using CBD to try and ease people with to reduce alcohol use, right? And I'm asking people why, because if it works and it's working, and that's going to help people taper off, maybe get off of it, but I don't see how it's going to do that. I'm familiar with CBD, and so I'm asking, but people just want to argue with me, which tells me you just want your drugs so you can do what it is that you want to do. I really, that's just what it comes down to. But I won't be closed-minded about it. It's not THC. It's CBD. There's no high. Okay. There's no mind altering of the brain. Right. I'm a fan of CBD. I have some right here. Where is it? Right here. This is CBD. All right. Anyway. Continue to watch for selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear. When these crop up, we ask God to remove them. We discuss them with someone immediately and make amends quickly if we have harmed anyone. Then we resolutely turn our thoughts to someone we can help. Love and tolerance of others is our code. I apologize, but you're going to have to wait a second while I change shirts because this shirt's too hot. Just not wear. I'm just not used to wearing collared shirts anymore. There you go. It's making my neck all hot. Hot neck, hot neck. Enough with the stomach stuff. All right. The love and tolerances of others is our code. And we have ceased fighting anything or anyone, even alcohol. For by this time, sanity will have returned. This next paragraph and what we're talking about right now is the definition of a recovered alcoholic. Okay, this is where recovered happens. Okay. Now, recovered just means that you have recovered from a hopeless state of mind and body. That's what it means. It does not mean we are cured. Okay. So, for by this time, sanity will have returned. We will seldom be interested in liquor. If tempted, we recoil from it as from a hot flame. We react sanely and normally, and we'll find that this has happened automatically. We'll see that our new attitude toward liquor has been given us without any thought or effort on our part. It just comes. That is the miracle of it. We're not fighting it, neither are we avoiding temptation. We feel as though we have been placed in a position of neutrality, safe and protected. There's our safe space. There's our safe space, that neutrality. You know, we gotta become Switzerland. Gotta be neutral. We have not even sworn off. Instead, the problem has been removed. It does not exist for us. We are neither cocky nor are we afraid. That is our experience. This is how we react so long as we keep in fit spiritual condition. Huh? See, I have choices. I can leave the house right now, head to the liquor store, get a drink if I want to, but I don't want to anymore. That's a choice. Sure it is. It's a very powerful choice making that. A lot of people say, I don't have a choice over drinking. Well, you haven't drank in like, forever. And sure you do. It's when I take that first drink that the choice is left. For me. Maybe it's different for you. But for me, once I have decided to take that first drink, then it's kind of over with. Sorry, I am having like either serious heartburn. I keep thinking I'm having a heart attack. Honestly, my chest has been hurting a lot lately. But every time I go get checked out, everybody fucking freaks out and they're like, there's nothing wrong. I'm like, I know. All right. Doesn't feel like a heart attack. I've had a heart attack before. So let me chew on this a little bit. Amber, I don't think you were here at the beginning. My car broke down again. Yep. The Honda I just bought. So, all right. Still has the temp tags on it, which I got to get tomorrow. It is easy to let up on the spiritual program of action and rest on our laurels. Right. This will be a repeat for a lot of people, but we're going to look up laurels. Definition of laurels.
Here's the definition of laurel. Any of a number of shrubs and other plants with dark green
That's not
glossy
what
leaves.
we're going for. Bestow an award someone, she will be laureled alongside. Honor praise award for, that's not what we're looking for. What does rest on your laurels mean? Let's see if they get it right. Then this is correct. This is what we needed. To be satisfied with past success and do nothing to achieve further success. How do a lot of people rest on their laurels? Time. Day counting is the biggest laurel I see. I'm all for you celebrating and things like that, but in AA, we don't celebrate things like 17 months, 16 months, 100 days, 1,000 days. You know, some of those even number ones are kind of fun to celebrate, but there's good reasons for it. But really what it comes down to is I can't take credit today for yesterday's success, because then I'm not living in today. I've got to find a new success for today. We are headed for trouble if we do, for alcohol is a subtle foe. We are not cured of alcoholism. What we really have is a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. Every day is a day when we must carry the vision of God's into all of our activity, God's will into all of our activities. How can I best serve thee? Thy will, not mine, be done. These are thoughts which must go with us constantly. We can exercise our willpower along this line all we wish. It is the proper use of the will. Good morning, Michelle. It is good to see you. Yeah. God, what do you need me to get done today? What needs to happen today? A lot of my life, all the meetings you went to yesterday was, even our noon meeting was on the pink cloud. Yeah. Huh. Weird. Did you bring up the topic the other times? What was it was good orderly direction, so. Yeah, so it wasn't from the daily reflection. That's funny. All right. So even when I just went and did this tour, God's will, man. He wanted it done. Right. So he wanted that done. All right. Seemed like there was something else I was going to say around that. No. It was good to see Pastor Marsha. She went and did the tour with me. I love Pastor Marsha. Think about making the meetings open just so she can attend. It's pretty selfish. Ain't gonna happen. So much has already been said about receiving strength, inspiration, direction from him who has all knowledge and power. If we have carefully followed directions, we have begun to sense the flow of his spirit into us. To some extent, we have become God conscious. We have begun to develop this vital sixth sense, but we must go further, and that means more action. Step 11 suggests prayer and meditation. We shouldn't be shy on this matter of prayer. Better men than we are using it constantly. It works. If we have the proper attitude and work at it, it would be easy to be vague about this matter, yet we believe we can make some definite, valuable suggestions. Now, next couple of pages are directions on things that we go through, right? What they're doing is they're giving suggestions on how to start your day, how to end your day. And what you're doing is you're setting yourself up to succeed when you do these things. Okay? You're trying to set yourself up so that you have a better day. This morning was a hard morning for me to get started. Finally, I got out to my cars, all click, 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 click. And I yelled, motherfucker. Yes, I did. I was pissed. Okay. But I wasn't going to let that control my day. And I'm still not. I'm not going to let it control my day. I didn't want to go over there with a bad attitude, So I yelled, motherfucker. And then I'm like, okay, what's a solution to this, Dion? What's a solution? And fortunately, my son's car was available and he let me borrow it. Right. And when I got there, I was a little late. I'm like, sorry, my car wasn't working. Like, yeah, we understand. See, now I could just have a better attitude about that before I get there. Right. When we retire at night, we constructively review our day. Were we resentful, selfish, dishonest, or afraid? Do we owe an apology? Personally, I think if you got into the nighttime and you don't know that you've owed an apology, I know right away that I owe an apology to somebody. I don't have to think much about it. Not always. Not always. It's just I don't want to create any more resentments. I don't want to go down that route. So I take care of it right away. But we at night, you know, and you don't just need to, everything, okay, what I do wrong today. No, stack up the things you did right too. Absolutely. Yeah. It was a good day. You know what I do when I have a good day? The next morning I get up, I say, hey, God, can we have another good day like we did yesterday? See, I'm setting myself up. Gonna be a good day. And all my troubles gonna something away. I forget the word. I was gonna try and fill it in, but I couldn't do it in time in my head. Have we kept something to ourselves which should be discussed with another person at once? Were we kind and loving toward all? What could have we done better? Were we thinking of ourselves most of the time, or were we thinking of what we could do for others, of what we could pack in the stream of life? But we must be careful not to drift into worry, remorse, or morbid reflection, for that would diminish our usefulness to others. After making our review, we ask God's forgiveness and inquire what corrective measures should be taken. On awakening, let us consider about the 24 hours ahead. We consider our plans for the day. Before we begin, we ask God to direct our thinking, especially asking that it be divorced from self-pity, dishonest, or self-seeking motives. Under these conditions, we can employ our mental faculties with assurance, for after all, God gave us brains to use. Our thought life will be placed on a much higher plane when our thinking is cleared of wrong motives. In thinking about our day, we may face indecision. We may not be able to determine which course to take. Here we ask God for inspiration, intuitive thought, or decision. We relax and take it easy. This is a process of letting something go. Right? We used to in most AA meetings anyway, back in the day, we used to have this poster, and the poster was a picture of this cat with scratches all the way down the poster, right? And the cat was at the bottom. You'd only see like part of him. You see his little puffy claws, and it said, "Everything I ever let go of has scratch marks all over." All right. Now, was that made for AA? No, but we AAers can understand that, huh? Because sometimes it's hard for us to let go. Maybe, maybe I wore a really good suit today and I know I'm looking dapper, right? I know I'm looking dapper. Who almost cried? Who almost cried? Person getting her, okay, sorry. I just want to know who almost cried, man. I hope it's out of happiness. All right. And I know I'm looking dapper today, right? And everybody's like, "Oh man, what a great suit. What a great suit." And then one person comes along and is like, "You got a little spot right there on the shoulder." And what's Dion going to think about the rest of the day? I mean, I either think about that spot and I'm going to let that bother me, or I'm going to be mad at the person that brought it up. Amber, you're speaking in gibberish. Yes, happiness. Good. That's okay. That works because when I was typing to you whole thing, but Ive was the only thing that got set. Yeah, suddenly my keyboard wasn't working very well. I walked up singing happy birthday since she was outside still on lunch break. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Good for her, man. Way to take care of your employees like that. We need more bosses like that. Good job, Amber. Thank you for telling us that. We relax and take it easy. We don't struggle. We are often surprised how the right answers come after we have tried this for a while. What used to be a hunch or an occasional inspiration gradually becomes a working part of the mind. That's when that's when that's when life starts to get real fun, actually. You get to start enjoying it a little bit more. You get to see the beatitudes. You get to start seeing, you're going to see amazing, amazing things in this life once you are cleared from your own bullshit. You get to see really cool things. You get to act a different way. You're enjoyable to be around. You're going to make a difference. You can make a difference. What is the hunch or occasional inspiration? Listen to that intuition. Oh, should I go over there and talk to that person? That's your intuition. Listen to it. Okay. It's usually correct. Don't let, and we talked about being recovered from a hopeless state of mind and body. But if you think I go to my brain for answers, no, that's the last place I go. It's the last place I go. The first place I go is my heart. It's either my stomach or my heart, usually my stomach, right? So it goes stomach, my intuition, then my heart, because that's where God is. I'm going to clear it through God. And then what my brain does is it helps me to get to accomplish that, because my brain just does what I tell it to do. I can't find my keys. I can't find my keys. I can't find my keys. You're right. You cannot find your keys. You ever been looking for something that was right in front of you, but you didn't see it? You didn't see it because you told yourself that you didn't see it. So it blocked it out. The brain's that powerful. Yeah. All right. Being still inexperienced and having just made a conscious contact with God, it is not probable that we are going to be inspired at all times. We might pay for this presumption in all sorts of absurd actions and ideas. Nevertheless, we find that our thinking will, as time passes, be more and more on the plane of inspiration. We've come to rely upon it. I've come to rely upon it. Yeah, I have. It works very, very well for me. God does so many things for me so that I can do what it is that I really enjoy doing. Like this, doing the daily trudge, the podcast, it costs money and I don't ask for money. I might need to. I keep it pretty cheap. I keep it pretty cheap. Right. In fact, probably time to do a budget, go through all that stuff. We usually conclude the period of meditation with a prayer that we be shown all through the day what our next step is to be, that we be given whatever we need to take care of such problems. We ask especially for freedom from self-will, and we are careful to make no request for ourselves. We may ask for ourselves, however, if others will be helped. We are careful never to pray for our own selfish ends. Many of us have wasted a lot of time doing that, and it doesn't work. You can easily see why. Aw, Amber, that's cool. So for anybody, because I have a lot of listeners, not video. So Amber is a boss in a telemarketing room, and she has somebody there that's 27 years of sobriety. So she got her a cake today. And Amber said it, I guess the employee told her that they were one of the few that have remembered in the last 3 years. Now you know what that person's gonna do? First of all, they're probably gonna close some deals today now. Okay. Because they have a better attitude. And sales is all about attitude. It's all about attitude, man. Okay. But then she's gonna go home. She's gonna be nicer to the people around her. Probably hit an extra AA meeting because she's feeling good about it. Good stuff. Good stuff. As I was leaving, I jumped in the 10 o'clock meeting because I had to have some kind of AA. And at the end, there's this guy, Carl, and there's this guy, and he always likes to give advice and stuff. And he said, "Hey, yo, are you still going to be here?" And that person's my sponsee. So I stuck around for a little bit. I'm like, and I'm glad I was wrong, because my suspicion was that they were going to do, give advice, things like that. But no, my sponsee was helping him do some things on Zoom. He was trying to figure out how to do some things, and he was doing service work. And just 2 days ago, I told him, I said, we got to start getting you into service work. Right in front of my eyes. I left smiling. Much better. Much better. All right. So when I pray, first thing I do is I start with the serenity prayer. Then I ask for something for myself. I say, God, can you please keep me sober today? Remember earlier I said I have a choice. Well, I choose my higher power. And that makes it even more powerful when I ask, because I can't do it myself. Right? Right. Then I pray for the people close to me. If I have any resentments going on, this is where I pray for that person. I pray for all my friends. I pray for all of you. And then I close with a third step prayer. It's very simple. But what I've done is I've done steps 1, 2, and 3. So I've worked on my foundation. First thing, work on my foundation. Yeah. Works very, very well for me. And then I pray throughout the day. Right? Earlier, my car wouldn't start. Now, did I go directly to God? No, I yelled a swear word first, right? But then I went to solution. Well, what is that? Well, that's my higher power working through me. I knew my higher power wasn't going to leave me hanging. I knew that. But I've gone through so many things that I had faith that he was going to get me there one way or another. One way or another. All right. Even if my kids had to drop me off, Marsha would get me a ride back or hop on the bus. If circumstances warrant, we ask our wives or friends to join us in morning meditation. We belong to a religious denomination which requires a definite morning devotion. We attend to that also. If not members of religious bodies, we sometimes select and memorize a few set prayers which emphasize the principles we have been discussing. There are many helpful books also. Suggestions about these may be obtained from one's priest, minister, or rabbi. Be quick to see where religious people are right. Make use of what they have to offer. That has been a big benefit in my life, seeing where religious people are right. Because there again, it's changing my attitude. It's a matter of taking what I need and leaving the rest in that, right? I have learned a lot from Pastor Marsha. I've also figured out that Jesus is a part of every single religion. So something, come on, the only conclusion I come to is that something happened, right? Michelle says, dang, all those people that said God talked to them and I thought they were not wrapped tight. Well, if God is talking to you directly, there might be a mental illness. Mine comes through an inspiration, an intuition, but I never hear the voice of God. No, I've never heard that. But I do hear where you're coming from because I do have a God consciousness. I do. So does God talk directly to me? Not in the sense that I can hear his voice, but yeah, sure he does. Does he always? No. It's been a while since I heard this, but sometimes I'll hear somebody say, God never gives me more than I can handle. And that might be true for them, but that's not the case for me. No. Or what I would do is I would do everything alone. Sometimes God gives me more than I can handle, so I'll reach out to his children. And what that teaches me is it doesn't matter how big the problem is or small it is. Maybe you should talk to somebody about it first. That's what it comes down to. Yeah, absolutely, Michelle. Absolutely. He talks to you too. As we go through the day, we pause when agitated or doubtful and ask for the right thought or action. Don't just do it don't go to God just because you're agitated or doubtful. I find that disrespectful to my higher power. Sorry, I gave direction there. That wasn't nice. I'm going to go to what Claire Joyce is saying here. before I move on. I ask for an intruder of thought to an indecision, if only be thy will. I have a feeling that you're saying is, I ask for an intuition of thought to an indecision, if only, and as long as it is their will. If I'm wrong on that, please correct me, because there's nothing worse than being misunderstood, right? So go to God because things are going good. That's actually exactly when you should go to God. You ever heard the phrase double down? Let's say something, God just did something, in your life. You ask for it. You know what you do? Do it again. Right then, do it again. Thank you, God. I see that, God. God, thanks for giving me that red light. See, I know he's saving me from something. I don't need to know what. I don't need to ask why anymore. Right? That's what I kind of figured, Clara. Because otherwise, like, I asked for an intruder of thought. It's like, okay, see, and there's a difference. Before, like, early sobriety, or you get old man, super spell checker. Now we can laugh at this stuff. We can joke about it. It's okay, because we don't really feel that humiliation anymore. Being able to laugh at yourself is one of the healthiest ways to become better. It is, right? Serendipity similarities, is that odd or is that God? And I know you're not really asking, it's more of a statement. Yeah. Because I believe it's God. Nothing happens in this world by mistake. So let me rephrase that. Nothing in my life happens by mistake. It's not by mistake that I met Pastor Marcia. It wasn't by mistake. It isn't by mistake that I met any of you. That was God working in our lives because we asked for something. We asked for something. And sometimes it happens immediately. Very cool, man. It's cool stuff. We constantly remind ourselves we're no longer running the show. Yay! Not my problem. I don't have to fuck with that. Humbly saying to ourselves many times each day, thy will be done. Yeah. I usually meet with somebody at 11 o'clock, right? And and today, clearly I wasn't able to do it. She said, Dion, good morning. I have another meeting at 11 today. Would you have any time tomorrow? I'm like, sure. And she said, I sure appreciate your flexibility. Do you have a time that works best for you? I haven't replied to that yet. But the answer to that is, the reason that I'm flexible like that is because God determines my day, and things change all the fucking time. All the time they change. So, thy will be done. And I want you to hear the first word, the first emotion. We are then in much less danger of excitement. Everybody here already knows what I'm going to say on excitement. Fear, anger, worry, self-pity, or foolish decisions, we become much more efficient. So see, not only am I doing well, but the things that I am touching are happening better because of the efficiency. And then I get more done. We do not tire so easily, for we are not burning up energy foolishly as we did when we were trying to arrange life to suit ourselves. It takes a lot of effort to try and control everybody around you and save this world and act a fool and play God. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of energy. Fear takes a lot of energy. It works. It really does. We alcoholics are undisciplined, so we let God discipline us in the simple way we have just outlined. Okay. Now, discipline in this case does not mean you're going to be grounded. It doesn't mean that he's going to make your life harder. No, that's not what discipline means in this. Discipline means repetition, consistency. Okay. In that case, that's what that means. Doesn't mean that there's going to be some bad consequence. Well, you did something wrong. There's a consequence to every action you take, good or bad. That's going to be up to you. How you take that consequence will be up to you also. But that is not all. There is action and more action. Faith without works is dead. The next chapter is entirely devoted to step 12. Step 12. All right. We got to do today's reading. So let's do that and we will finish up. Every day, I ask God to kindle within me the fire of his love, so that love, burning bright and clear, will illuminate my thinking and permit me to better do his will. Cool way to do it. Yeah. You know, I think more of it as a cup than I do a fire, you know, where my cup spilleth over. Throughout the day, as I allow outside circumstances to dampen my spirits. I like how they said that. Because they said, as I allow. In other words, they're allowing that, right? And it happens. It happens to all of us. Not some, yeah. Anyway, circumstances to dampen my spirits. I ask God to sear my consciousness with the awareness that I can start my day over anytime I choose, 100 times if necessary. You know, you can start your day over anytime you want. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can start your day over right before you go to bed if you need to. But you do. You can start your day over anytime that you want to. Isn't that neat to have that in our lives now? Before I couldn't even handle my own emotions. Now I can start my day over. Ah, what a great thing to have. What a great thing to have. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I wish I knew a good Zoom meeting to go to at noon, but I don't. And I'm over here trying to figure out what noon meeting I'm going to go to. Maybe I'll go to ABW again. So, a better way. They're the ones where I'm learning what not to do in a hybrid meeting. Still a good meeting, though. It's still a good meeting. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. It's always good to see all of you. You know, I know I say it, but you just can't say it enough. I appreciate everybody's support. I love my mutual friends letting other people know what I'm doing. I've noticed several of you sharing my videos, and I appreciate that. I really do. The whole point of this is if I can help one person, great. But if I can help even more, that's even better. Even better. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And